When it comes to Caribbean food, whose endorsement do you trust more? That of a laid-back American singer or a Jamaican Olympian? Believe it or not, both of them play a part in our ranking of Caribbean chain restaurants from best to worst. Little did Jimmy Buffett know that his hit song Margaritaville would one day become a wildly popular chain of tropical-inspired restaurants and themed resorts, with 32 locations around the world. While that growth is impressive, the menu is much less so. As one Yelp reviewer said of the Las Vegas location, "The food is underwhelming, to say the least. I had a better burger at the airport bar. Save your money for this overpriced and unimpressive food." In New York City's Times Square, there's a Margaritaville resort that consists of an eatery named Landshark Bar and Grill, as well as hotel rooms and a pool. Unfortunately, the food here is also uneventful. Eater described the fish tacos as mediocre while also noting, "They were grilled and dry and slightly mealy, served with plain rice and black beans that tasted like they had just been dumped out of the can." Founded in Miami in 1988, Pollo Tropical is considered a healthy alternative to the mega fast food brands that serve up fries and burgers. Their menu consists of enticing options like roast pork and fire-grilled citrus-marinated chicken. And with salads, soups, sandwiches, and wraps, there's pretty much something for everyone on the menu. Unfortunately, customers aren't very enthusiastic about this fare, as many of the locations have an average star rating of just 2 to 3 out of 5 stars on Yelp. And as one reviewer revealed on Facebook, "Got home only to find the chicken dry, burnt, and overcooked. Had to toss the chicken and settle for the beans and rice. Will never patronize Pollo Tropical again." There are over 141 locations, so you may have better luck depending on which one you go to, but if you want well-cooked tropical chicken, you should probably go somewhere else.
Get out!
The concept of Bahama Breeze is exciting, as it serves up bright tropical dishes like beef empanadas, tostones, and jerk wings. These offerings should be packed with flavor, but they're all too often lackluster. As one Yelp reviewer bemoaned, "Don't you season the food prior to preparing it? This is just a bad and sad adaptation for Caribbean food." And another Yelp review added to the criticism by declaring, "The sauce had little flavoring. The lobster was very obviously cheap frozen bits." Despite all that, Bahama Breeze does get points for ambiance, with one Yelp reviewer noting, "I wish I took a picture of the outside deck that we were sitting on because it looks like you were sitting at a beach bar on some tropical island." Golden Krust was founded in 1989 as a way for Lowell Hawthorne and his siblings to pay homage to their parents' Jamaican home cooking. The Bronx-based bakery would eventually grow into a franchise with more than 120 different locations. Golden Krust serves up Jamaican staples like braised oxtail over rice and peas, curried goat, and of course, patties. It sounds promising, but oftentimes the meals fall flat, especially if you're used to the home-cooked version. If you're looking for just a beef patty, you might be okay, but as a review from Eater warned, "Don't expect a life-changing pastry. The crust is tougher than many of the other patties served in this Brooklyn neighborhood, but you can count on flavorful fillings." Golden Krust might be an adequate introduction if you're not very familiar with Jamaican food, but for those looking for the real deal, you're better off heading elsewhere. With 8 locations around New York City, Sophie's is the Cuban answer to mundane lunches, even though one of the founders is Peruvian. Manuela Matos sold Peruvian bites from a cart to save up for her first restaurant, and she eventually partnered with Cuban chef Eduardo Morgado to nail down the Cuban aesthetic. Business has been booming ever since, but does the quality and taste of the food match up with the charming backstory? With options such as pernil, shrimp and garlic sauce, oxtail stew, and of course a Cuban sandwich, Sophie's delivers classic dishes with a foundation of solid flavor. But it sounds like some locations have less than flawless execution. As one Yelp reviewer lamented, "The rice had some water in it, the beans were watery and absolutely no flavor or salt, bland. I'm Cuban, so I have eaten lots of rice and beans in my life. These were the lamest ones I have ever had."
LeMay?
A review from the New York Times was slightly more positive, though not exactly glowing. The beef-stuffed potato croquettes called papas rellenas have a textbook golden crust, but richer, more compelling versions can be found. Each location of Cuba Libre is branded as more of a rum bar and music venue instead of a restaurant, but there definitely is food, including empanadas, shrimp enchilados, and arroz con pollo. Cuba Libre is different from all of the other Caribbean restaurants on this list because it's a destination, an experience, and a full bar. The food is mostly positive, though some customers have encountered issues with seasoning, with one Yelper remarking, My husband ordered the pollo asado. He is Cuban himself, so he is extremely picky and honestly not even a foodie at all. But he wasn't a fan of the chicken. He thought it was way too salty. And food blogger Scott Joseph Orlando liked the food but couldn't get past the bustling environment, as he noted. The cavernous interior with its echoey noise and cafeteria feel is probably best left to the nightclub crowd. Caribbean Hut has been providing North Carolina residents with authentic Jamaican food for 15 years. Based on customer reviews, though, the experience can be a little hit or miss. One disappointed Yelper had this to say: "The food here is okay. I'm from Florida and I've had pretty great Jamaican food and this just didn't impress me. The chicken was tender, but it wasn't as flavorful as it looked. The rice was actually good, but the cabbage wasn't." It's not all bad news, though, as the portion size is often enough for leftovers, and the jerk chicken gets rave reviews. One Restaurant G reviewer declared, "The service was fast and friendly, the portions were plentiful, and they have a huge selection of store-made drinks. I had curried chicken as well as the oxtails. The only downside was the seasoning seemed a little light." Donna's is a 14-location chain of Jamaican restaurants throughout Florida. Their menu is made up of classics like jerk chicken, curry goat, brown stew chicken, and ackee and saltfish. That sure sounds delicious, but the experience can be a bit hit or miss. One disappointed Yelper had stewed chicken that was so dry and tough that it ended up in the trash. Despite that, most customer reactions skew positive, or at least neutral, with one Check Please South Florida reviewer relaying, "Everything was good and what you'd expect from a Jamaican cafeteria-style restaurant. The ambiance was unassuming, the service price and quality of the food was good, the portions were huge. If there's a long line, we recommend waiting it out because it's worth it. And the good thing about there being multiple locations is that if you have bad luck at one, you can always try another. And if that's not enough to convince you, maybe you'll listen to a Jamaican Olympian."
I was really hungry and I needed to go somewhere that I could get Jamaican food, and hence I'm here at Donna's.
Tina's is actually an offshoot of NYC favorite Sophie's. It seems that there were some differences of opinion at the management level about how to run the business, so the Tina's team branched off to do Cuban food their own way. Their menu is packed with fare like empanadas, arroz con pollo, ropa vieja, pork chops, and a Cubano sandwich described by the Mr. Hipster blog as rib-busting, spicy, and piled high good. This is a no-frills spot meant to serve up food quickly, so you're probably best off grabbing some food to go or opting for delivery. The food is also no frills, with a number of Yelp reviewers commenting that the flavors are a bit mild. As one put it, "I got the salmon, rice, and beans with tostones. It was okay. For the price, it should have been a lot better. Not disappointed, but not too pleased." Nevertheless, customers seem to agree that Tina's is quick, consistent, and reasonably priced, even if you might want to add some salt or green sauce to your dish. Dutch Pot is a low-key Jamaican chain that gets its name from the cookware that's a staple of the country's cuisine. The restaurant has been serving Florida since its inception in 1998 with a catering arm for special events. They have a menu full of Jamaican dishes like oxtails and brown stewed chicken, as well as various porridges and soups. Dutch Pot has 9 locations that are still run by the original owners, so they're clearly doing something right. According to customer reviews, there's always a line, so be prepared to wait because you won't regret it, as one Yelper put it. First time visiting the Dutch Pot and was pleasantly surprised, high-quality ingredients, relatively fast service, and scaled locations throughout the city. The oxtail and rice and peas were excellent, tasted basically homemade, and prices were reasonable. Starting a business in New York City isn't for the faint of heart, and if it somehow becomes a thriving business that grows into multiple locations, that's even more impressive. Jamaican Flavors has 6 locations throughout the city, though only 2 offer a full menu. The other 4 sell just patties, which is a pretty confident move. The patties at Jamaican Flavor include fillings like beef, chicken, jerk chicken, vegetables, and curry chicken, and customers absolutely love them. One Yelper had this praise to offer: "The best patties that I have ever had in my life. They are always hot and fresh. The dough is always just flaky enough. It's amazing. My favorite is the jerk chicken patty. It is so flavorful. It is definitely one of the best things I've ever eaten." So, if you're in Jamaican Flavors neighborhood, treat yourself right and pick up a patty.
Treat yourself.
Flames is a 7-location chain in Massachusetts and Rhode Island, and interestingly enough, each location features a slightly different concept. Flame 1 is Jamaican breakfast, lunch, and dinner staples. Flame 2 is more of a lounge, and Flame 3 is more diner-like with a focus on breakfast food. The chain has served plenty of satisfied customers, with one Yelp reviewer declaring, I've been here a handful of times, but every time I come, it's literally better than the last. I just came in recently a few weeks ago and I ended up getting oxtails. I got a lot more than I expected for the price. The food is delicious, the oxtail falls right off the bone, the rice and peas with gravy added melts in your mouth. And one reviewer on TripAdvisor was happy to announce, having traveled in the Caribbean, including Jamaica, I can honestly say this place is the real deal. Backyard is a Bay Area Caribbean restaurant chain that's left a trail of happy customers in its path due to both stellar service and delicious dishes. Their downtown San Jose location has closed, but fear not, as it's set to be replaced with a new one in the near future. And there are still 4 other locations to enjoy their tasty Caribbean cuisine. Backyard nabbed our top spot because they make so many dishes exceptionally well. And they also do it with a smile and while serving large portions. One Yelper happily revealed, "I got the curry goat and the beef oxtail special, which came with rice and beans and plantains. The oxtail was my favorite. It was so tender and flavorful." And in the Infatuations review, they called the jerk chicken meal near perfect. Whether you're into succulent oxtail, rich curry goat, or even a jerk tofu, a visit to Backyard will undoubtedly leave you a satisfied customer.
I am never satisfied. It's a curse.
Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more mashed videos about your favorite restaurants are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.